Well, after an exciting boys 18U Undisputed National Championship where MHEA just did a four-peat, making some history here, we're about to have some history on the girls' side. And welcome to the girls 18U Undisputed National Championship game where two newcomers, both from the state of Michigan, the West Michigan Hornets and the HEA Firebirds, will try to come away with their first title. Amy Curtis, Scott State, and Paul Gilmore, we are here courtside. And Amy and Paul, we have got two teams. One was here last year, could not pull off the win San Marcos won. And then last night, we have the team that prevented San Marcos from having a rematch with West Michigan. What can we expect?
Well, this is the first ever Undisputed National Championship game that is Michigan versus Michigan. And neither one of these programs has ever won the Undisputed at the girls 18. So either way, we're going to have a brand new champion tonight.
Absolutely.
I think we can expect a great game. I mean, both of these teams looked great yesterday. I had not seen West Michigan, but I was extremely impressed with how they played with pace and how disciplined they were. The Firebirds have been just kind of running through the bracket here,
yep.
And they had a dominant performance yesterday as well. And I'm sure somebody's going to talk about it here in a second. They've had a nice series this season where they've gone 2-2 against each other, and
yep.
3 of those 4 matchups were decided by like a total of 4 points between the 3. So I'm expecting a great game.
Yeah, 12 points total on the 4 victories, and so they've split it. This is the rubber match, and wouldn't you know, it's for an undisputed national title. Our local historian, Rob Flatt, told us, we did some research, there has been one other team from the Midwest, and actually from Michigan, but years ago, back at least over 20 years ago, a team out of Lansing, believe it or not, where now Chap is. They no longer exist, but that program won a girls undisputed. But other than that, it's never happened before. And so in the modern era, we're about to see some history made. And pretty much tonight, we're going to be looking at HEA, and you know all about their All-American, their Michigan State signee, Lily Williams in the middle. But across the board, you've got a team that plays all 10 players. 9 out of 10 players have scored in 3 of their 4 games here this week. So it gives you an idea of their depth. So it's going to be interesting to see a little bit less depth on the HEA side, but a lot of firepower. MHEA, or rather HEA with that, but West Michigan going to bring in all 10 players at some point, and we will see who will win out in that one.
Both of these teams are littered with all-region players. We had Laskowski, Ayers, and Cochran for West Michigan. Meanwhile, for HEA, Lily Williams, Emma Lincoln, Katie Martis. I mean, just stars up and down the board, and you'd expect that when you get to this level.
If I'm not mistaken, Rodimer was not on that All-American or All-Region list. However, I was very impressed with her yesterday, especially down the stretch. There was a moment there where it seemed like the experience of San Marcos was going to take over. They were a little rattled, and she settled them down. I remember with 2 minutes to go, she looked everybody in the eye and said, we got 2 minutes. So she seems to be a leader out there.
Tip goes to the Firebirds. HEA quickly on the attack. Here's Lily Williams. You know they'd go there. Her first shot no good, but gets her own board, puts it back in. Good start for Lily.
Got to keep her off the boards with a couple of bodies probably, and that was a story yesterday that the Hornets out-rebounded San Marcos significantly despite their size disadvantage, so that's something to keep an eye on today.
Hornets going to work it around. That's Dovie Cochran, the All-American. She's a sharpshooter from outside, but we saw last night she can score from all over. Some huge points in that upset win over San Marcos. Here's the Hornets again. Ayers from Laskowski. Ayers will drive down, challenges Williams, and she loses that challenge. It was blocked out of bounds.
He does, and that was a bucket last night.
That's true.
Yeah.
We need to get some volleyball scouts here. That was a nice spike.
Laskowski will bring it in underneath their own basket for West Michigan. They're in the gray uniforms. HEA in the black uniforms with the red trim. Spin move there, that time by Dovie Cochran, no good. Williams there to get the board, and then we got a push on Ayers.
I think Cochran may be a little bit
wait a
banged
minute.
up there.
Oh, they called it on Williams. They called it on Lily, swinging the elbows. Wow, that was a surprising one.
I had my eyes on Cochran because she went down kind of hard on her elbow
Yeah.
there, so I didn't see that play. But they definitely don't want Williams to be in foul trouble.
Yeah, that could be huge. But on the inbounds, there she is. She might be small, she might be young, but Lila Valentine is huge on this court, the 8th grader for the Firebirds with the steal.
I have been tremendously impressed with her during this entire tournament. I've done 3 of their games, and each game she has consistently led her team with patience.
That time the Firebirds get it into Williams, and number 15, Ashley Ayers, just put her back up and really didn't even look because she couldn't stop Williams from getting inside. But meanwhile, back the other end, Ayers misses the first 3 of the game. That rims out, and there to pull it off is Lincoln. Emma Lincoln gives it back over to Valentine.
We expected yesterday Chisholm to push pace to test whether HEA could keep up with that, because the Firebirds really want to play slower. That never materialized, but I expect that to be an issue here. Can they keep up with the pace that the Hornets play, throwing so many people at you so quickly?
Lincoln with the ball, takes it back from Williams. She will stop and shoot it from just behind the free throw line.
Nice,
she connects. Good looking jump.
Yeah.
4-0 now, HEA. Last year, you could tell conditioning was an issue. Here's a 3, Rodimer. Jaden Rodimer, and you were right, Amy. She wasn't on those lists, but her coach said there's such a team-oriented team that she didn't really get a lot of notice, and then this tournament, she's really just started to show up, and now a turnover, uncharacteristically from the Firebirds, will give it back to the Hornets with a chance to take the lead.
Lincoln encouraging her teammate to settle down. As I said, I've been very impressed with Valentine, but she is one player on this team who has not been in this situation before, so good veteran leadership there by Lincoln.
Last year, conditioning did seem to be a little bit of an issue with the Firebirds, but man, they have really taken care of that this year. They don't play as many, but all really in great shape and can handle this full game, whether they pick up the pace or they slow it down. Cochran trying to work on Lincoln. Ayers will bring it back out. Hornets will run this offense, and they'll pretty much just plug in all 10 players at different spots. And once again, they're not afraid to challenge, but Lily Williams with another block.
Yeah, she is obviously, as we mentioned, D1 basketball commit to Michigan State. They may have the volleyball coaches looking at her as well. I mean, that time she absolutely swallowed that ball. And again, she's tall, she's long, but she also has a great defensive presence, good footwork. She knows when the player's wanting to shoot it. She times it just right. And
stays straight up so as not to draw fouls, because that, you know, at West Michigan, they want to go at her and try to get her out of the game, right? So she's got to be disciplined to hold her to ground there.
Laskowski missed the shot, but then as the Firebirds passed it, she stole it away, gets the steal, another possession, and another block for Lily Williams. Rodimer saved in bounds by Valentine, and Lincoln gonna push it up. Wow, great play there. Williams with another block, and Valentine able to save that one. She will bring it up quickly for her Firebirds.
Good ball movement here.
Lincoln loses it for a second, gathers it back in, resets. Williams in the paint, stops, pops, uses the backboard, no good, bounces to Ayers.
There were 3 Hornets blocking Lily out after that possession. I think I talked about this a little bit yesterday. If you can get Lily to get her touches in the middle of the paint instead of on the block, you have a better chance of a miss there.
Laskowski missed that 3. Valentine had the ball pressured, knocked out for a second, and then Rodimer rips it away. Another turnover, another steal. Hannah Williams that time gave it up to the Hornets. And we've been stuck at this 4-3 score for a while. Just 3:47 to go here in the first. This girls 18U Undisputed National Championship game.
And Amy, I think you were 100% spot on with Rodimer. I mean, she's such an impressive guard. A lot of HEA players getting the love, but you don't get this far without good guard play. And Rodimer has been incredibly impressive this tournament.
Yes, she has. She plays with pace, and she's just disciplined and confident. Really, they overall are a very disciplined team. I was doing a little research on social media. I see their coach took them to several team camps at colleges together this summer. That makes a difference.
Rodimer for 3 again, that time short. Rebound off to Lincoln. These two have played each other. You can kind of tell they're feeling each other out. As we mentioned, 5th game they've played this year against each other, and they've split up to this point. Ball knocked away by Lincoln. Valentine gets it, pressured by Rodimer and Ayers. She's going to drive the baseline, though, puts it up. Shot was blocked, gets it back, rolls it in.
Way to stay with it there for Valentine. She is by far the smallest player on the court.
Yeah.
And she knows when she should shoot, when she shouldn't, when she should kick it. Gets a lot of paint touches for her team. Just very, very impressive at her young age.
Mature beyond her years, and that way showed some real mental toughness. Got her shot blocked, but didn't let that bother. She just turned around, grabbed it, and put it in. 6-3 now. Firebirds up 3. West Michigan with the ball. Raudimer going to study this defense, figure out how they're going to attack. Of course, Lily Williams back in the middle. Steps out to Ayers. Maybe they're going to try to pull her out just a little bit, get some space underneath. Here's Raudimer, jump shot. That is short, rebound to Valentine. Boy, she's getting on the boards here too. She gets double teamed immediately, but dribbles her way out of it. And then we get a timeout by Coach Williams with the Firebirds. 2:01 to go so far, guys, 6-3. We thought it'd be close. It's close early. Anything you see that sticks out to you so far as these two are kind of getting each other's pace?
I think they're still feeling each other out a little bit. I expect as the game goes on for the Hornets to maybe move at a little bit of a quicker pace because that is their advantage. And for the Firebirds, there have been a couple possessions that were just a little bit shaky, dribbled into traffic a little bit. That's not something I've seen up to this point, so maybe some jitters on both sides on this big stage with this big crowd. Rebound advantage right now, HEA 9, Hornets 2, which is a big difference from yesterday. Plus you have the 3 blocks. That's big possessions there.
Yeah, and I think one thing I'm noticing from West Michigan defensively is they started the game. They had Ayers fronting Williams in the post, and then they had a couple of possessions where when Lily finally got it in there, Ayers had her back turned to Lily, just trying to continue to push her out from the goal. And again, it's a tough task for anyone. We saw Mir from Chisholm yesterday do a really great job. Obviously, Lily's going to get what she's going to get, but again, 5th time these teams have matched up. They know exactly what to expect. I guarantee they've watched film.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a who can make the adjustments.
And we got a whistle. I think it might have been a hold.
I think so on 11.
Yeah, they called that on Molly Hunt.
Yeah.
Molly Hunt's first.
I like what she did there. She did her work early. You can't let any post that's bigger than you get down to the block. She started battling with Lily up at the free throw line, which tires her out, makes it hard for her to get the ball down there. She's been significantly less open in this game than every other one I've done. Every other game I've done, they've gotten 2 or 3 over-the-top passes to her while being fronted and easy layups. So they're doing a better job of defending her, which I expected because they have great help defense.
On the inbounds, Raudimer with the foul. Firebirds will get to reset now. Inbounds to Kate Martis, the other senior. Martis gets it out top. She's going to drive. Or actually, that's Demoff. Gabby Demoff takes it all the way in. That's her first 2 of the game. It is now 8-3, 1:37 to go. Hornets on the attack.
That's an advantage of having someone as tall as Lily. She's also a great passer. I mean, she immediately recognized how many players were swarming around her and immediately got it to Demoff.
Laskowski, oh, the floater in and out. And then Williams rips down the board. Laskowski goes down. She's all right, back up, and here come the Firebirds again. 8-3, they have definitely owned the paint. Firebirds not giving up any extra shots right now, and it's not just been Williams. We've seen Valentine in there. Team really crashing the boards. Drive by Lincoln. There's a collision, and she's going to get called for the charge.
A little bit out of control there. I've complimented her in other games I've done on her ability to play off 2 with patience, and she did not show that there, but that's a little bit uncharacteristic.
Some more of the bench coming in for West Michigan. We see Naomi Wyman coming in, and also already Molly Hunt was in. And then another one of their big players, Shea Vanderway. She's one of the few players they have that can really compete a little bit with size down low with Lily. Raudimer with the ball. West Michigan trailing 8-3. These 2 teams battling it out for the Undisputed. They could have done this in Michigan and saved all the travel trouble, but they are here in Springfield at Drury University and battling it out in front of this big crowd that just watched MHEA's boys win their 4th straight. These 2 trying to win the first. Here's Hunt to her right. Starts to lose her step, but gets it back. Haven't seen Dovey Cochran much yet. Raudimer to her right. Losing the ball, being pressured by Valentine. 17 seconds. Looks like they're going to maybe hold for the last shot. Wow, some more collision. Oh, and that 3 was blocked. Molly Hunt tried, and they're going to call it over and back. Yes, she touched the ball on this side, and they said she had possession. Went over the line. She nods her head in agreement, and it's 8-3, 9.2 seconds to go.
I feel like watching them the last 2 days, you know that the Hornets expected to be here. But, Paul, if you're HEA, I don't think they expected to be playing the Hornets in this game. I think they were expecting a matchup with San Marcos. How do you think that plays in mentally?
Lincoln for 3.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, right? When you look at the situation that they're in, they certainly were expecting a rematch. And when that doesn't happen, though, I think it does shift your mentality just a little bit, right? Maybe you think the whole season, man, we got to get back there and we got to take our shot and we're going to get our revenge this time.
Well, they haven't had a letdown if they are disappointed about not playing San Marcos. An 11-3 start to this game, just one field goal, and that was early on by West Michigan. HEA Firebirds with the early lead. We'll be back with the second quarter of the girls' 18U Undisputed game after this break. Welcome back. We are about to start the second period where the HEA Firebirds have used an 11-point first quarter and held West Michigan Hornets to just 3 to take an 11-3 lead. Paul Amy and Scott here on the sidelines. The Hornets will bring it in the gray uniforms, going against the Firebirds in the dark uniforms with the red trim.
I think the story in that first quarter was really the dominance of Lily Williams. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks. The only thing really keeping the Hornets in the game, I think, is that they're winning the turnover battle. They only have 1 to 5 for the Firebirds, so that's something to keep an eye on. As I said it.
Yeah. Welcome to the broadcaster jinx. Turnover, Firebirds get it. And yeah, they're such an efficient team usually. You're not really surprised that West Michigan's not turning it over, but a little bit surprising how much they've struggled. The first 4 times they each played, they were not low-scoring games. But this time, super low scoring. Lily Williams, I don't know how she got that back in. A darting Rodimer went by and thought she took the ball, and then Williams able to pull it back in, and I think Vanderway was called on the foul on that one. That's 3 fouls now total on the Hornets. And you know they're going to use some to try to contain Williams as she sinks the first.
And last night she was 7 of 8 from the line in her 30-point-plus performance.
When you got a big that's going to get fouled, you got to hit free throws. That time she misses the second.
Jinxed her.
Yep, it works. It's real, Amy. It's real. Naomi Wyman gets the board, gives it up to her point guard, Jaden Rodimer.
Nice Iverson cut there.
To her left, Dobie Cochran. Cochran going to try to find some space, but Firebirds well aware of that. As they played before, she is deadly from outside.
And Lily Williams gets obvious attention for a lot of reasons, but I got to give so much credit to these HEA guards.
Yeah.
I mean, they are not making anything easy for West Michigan.
Absolutely.
And in order for them to score, a lot of it's not going to come from down in the paint. It's going to be from shots like that from Rodimer.
Right.
But even then, you've got those guards just playing so well, knowing you've got that big behind that can do stuff like that.
Rodimer missed a 3. Wyman got the rebound. And then on the drive by Molly Hunt, that's another block. 5 now by our count for Williams.
And, you know, for those watching, it's not just that those look impressive. Those are possessions. Those are shots on goal that they did not get there. And every possession in tight games matters. And this is not a tight game right now, but they've played tight games 3 times. So I expect them to make a push here at some point, and those possessions are going to matter.
Well, those are cuts that the Hornets are they're used to scoring on. I mean, they've done it this whole tournament. Backdoor cuts, just swinging around, the swinging the ball to the weak side and just finding a lane there. And, boy, the difference is tonight you got Lily Williams just flying across, and she does such a great job to not foul as well. And just hit the ball. She's there to challenge again.
But she had to go up quicker, I think, than she normally would. Yeah.
Cochran had to throw it a little. Definitely adjusted the shot. Another miss. And, wow, still just 3 points on the board. 2 minutes into the second quarter.
And one thing I'd like to see for West Michigan is HEA's playing a man defense. I would love to see the ball handler that can knock down threes, whether that's Rodimer or Cochran. I want to see them get the switch on Lily and really bring her out from the basket, because then if she drops down, then you can maybe knock down a couple threes, get right back in it, and have HEA consider switching their defense.
Yep.
good early foul before she could go up there so she doesn't get free throws. I'd like to see the Hornets push pace a little bit more, try to, because I think they can get down the court before Lily can and get a good shot. Last night, every one of those drives was a bucket. So
Lincoln for three again, that time a little long. Williams battled to get the board but couldn't reach it, and it will go to the Hornets. Hornets right now trying to figure out where their scoring is going to come from. They've had a hard time, and like you said, Paul and Amy both, it's not just Lily. I mean, their whole defense is really swarming in the Hornets. Whenever they run one of their plays, they've obviously watched the film and played against them, but just no open looks, and that's something that their offensive scheme usually sets up for them. The Hornets get a lot of open shots, but not tonight.
No, they're having to work so hard just to even get the ball past the volleyball line. I mean, these HEA guards are playing them so well. They're so disciplined. They stay low and straight up, and there's nothing easy coming from West Michigan, so they're going to have to figure out how to make some adjustments.
That time we've seen Rodimer make amazing back cut passes, but she didn't have her player there. That time, once again, they were disrupted by the defense of the Firebirds.
she ran the wrong route there. So
Yeah. Here's another three. That's long. Rodimer with the board.
I like that Valentine made the extra pass.
Yes, I think I mean, just again, it's worth mentioning. If you didn't see the semi last night, the Hornets scored at will with this same offense. So the difference here is the defense of the guards. Yes, Lily is stopping them at the rim, but they're having trouble even getting in the paint.
Yeah, because even last night, San Marcos, I mean, they got Kendall Beck back there. It wasn't like they were
And
without
McGarity.
any height. Yeah, exactly. There's a three. Valentine connects. Her 5th point, and she's tied with Emma Lincoln for the lead for her team, and now their lead is 15-3, and when you're having trouble scoring, 15 can seem like a mountain.
I don't think I've seen her take an ill-advised shot in any of the games I've done. I just can't say enough how impressive that is for an 8th grader with her level of skill. She's incredibly skilled.
Fouls on Martis.
Even though that foul's on Martis, I think if you're HEA, you live with that kind of foul. I mean, she is fighting so hard through those screens and fighting so hard to stay in front of her man. And you'll catch every one of those every now and then, and you live with that because this HEA defense is formidable right now.
Ashley Ayers back in. Looks like she had to get taped up on her left wrist. See if that bothers her at all tonight.
I meant to mention earlier, I think it's actually Katie Martis, and she's the other player that's committed to play in college on this team. I like that the ball fake to get Lily in the air. She's got 5 blocks, so she thought she had another one there at half court and maybe a layup or a dunk on the other end because, you know, she can put one down occasionally, but that was a good ball fake to get her off and out of the way there to get a clean look at the rim.
Wasn't sure if it sounded like they said the foul was on Lincoln.
It was on Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
Lily was
second.
out of the play back here.
Well, and then you also at the free throw line, you can't really leave anything on the table at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't trying to miss, but it's going to be really hard when you look at the score sheet and, you know, you've got some missed free throws on there, missed opportunities.
She sinks the second, and that's their first scoring since early on in this one. 15-4. Going to have to get some stops, too. Here comes Valentine all the way down, untouched almost, but the rebound comes off to Dobie Cochran. Cochran wants to push the pace, slips through the hands of Rodimer. Pressured a little bit by Valentine.
Pressured well by Valentine.
Tried another backdoor cut, but got tipped away. Ayers reels it back in. Here comes Cochran.
That was a combination of good defense, plus that's where you see those little edges from having watched film. Mm-hmm. You know what they're trying to do when you're playing out on them aggressive. They want a backdoor cut, and at the right time, they're jumping into those passing lanes.
Good tap behind.
Valentine with a rebound, but then a back tap. It gives the ball back to the Hornets. Rodimer had to float that one.
Like that. That's nice skill there. Good decision.
Great adjustment mid-shot. She saw Williams come flying at her. Knew she had to throw a rainbow and sinks that one in 15-6. A little bit of a run now finally. 4 points, or 3 points. It sounds like not much, but when you've only got 6 with just 2.5 left and then a turnover.
Unforced there.
Pass goes through the hands of Hannah Williams. Hornets will have it. Trying to chip away at that 15-6 lead. They just keep running in new troops.
And the Hornets still have an advantage in the turnover category, so that is part of what is keeping them in this game. But now they've got to convert. Looks like they will get another Iverson cut here, which last night those were, buckets, but
oh, what a
look at
move
the
by
finish.
Laskowski.
Oh my goodness.
Another adjustment midair, up and under, and spun it off the glass, and now it's 15-8. As close as they've been in a while. Got to get another stop.
Make
2
no
minutes
mistake,
to go.
These girls can play. They're not going anywhere.
And we got a whistle, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be on Williams. Battling inside for position. And that's 2 fouls on Williams, 2 fouls on Lincoln. Not concerned yet, but you got to keep an eye on that. And more importantly for the Hornets, trying to get their 3rd straight possession to come away with points, which were hard to come by in that first half so far. 15-8, under 2 minutes to go. West Michigan, a 3 by Cochran. A little bit off. That's her shot. You can't really be mad about that one, but unable to connect this time. 15-8, 1:40 to go. Valentine. Boy, Valentine's been huge on the boards. She's picked up a lot of rebounds for a young, small point guard. She gets in there and battles.
Wisely patience here, showing some patience here on this possession.
Ball tipped by Ayers.
3 for 3 on that.
They're relentless. They are diving on the floor, and then they get a timeout. They get the timeout. You got to love the hustle there. That time the Hornets didn't completely have a steal. It was tipped. One of their players flies into the scorer's table. The other dives on the ground right when you think you can pick it up. And that's when you think Hornets was a good choice, because I mean they swarm you on defense. When that ball's loose, it's like blood in the water to piranha.
And you'll notice now that they have a lot more energy, right? When you make those kind of defensive stops, you hit a couple of tough shots over and under Lily Williams. Then that energizes you on the defensive end. And again, had Cochran been able to hit that 3, you can only imagine how much more crazy this crowd will be growing. And I just got to mention, HEA sitting behind West Michigan, they are cheering right with West Michigan, and they're doing their chants and everything. So West Michigan has gained a following.
It's one of the fun parts of homeschool basketball. Lots of teams support each other. I know I'm from Texas. All the Texas teams will support each other. It's very, very fun.
Speaking of that, in the all-region games, we're going to have Texas versus everybody else on both the boys and girls.
What a fun idea. I think that was yours, Paul. I love that idea.
Well, I won't take credit for it, but I will be. We'll actually be broadcasting that game, so that'll be fun.
I didn't know we were doing that. That's awesome.
That shot is off. Rodimer gets it back, though. Ayers can shoot from there. She's going to drive up against Williams, throws it up. Williams had to be careful there with 2 fouls.
Yeah. Even though that was a miss, that was a better decision. Before they were going straight at her. Now they're doing floaters, up and unders, looking to draw a foul. The rebounding advantage is not as big as it was early on. It's 13-8 now. But the turnovers continue to favor the Hornets. They're now 4-10 in that category.
When that time, it was a Hornets player that reached out and tipped the ball, and then when Hannah Williams tried to pull it in, it just went off of her finger. So once again, that defense really starting to bring about some turnovers. 15-8, under 30 to go here. Looks like West Michigan's going to be content to try to get the last shot. Rodimer.
I like this decision here. You're not going to get this lead. You're not going to cut it in one possession. I like holding it going into the second half with some momentum here.
Laskowski going to her right, stops.
I like that set there.
Here's a deep 3 by Ayers. In! Huge shot. Aubrey Ayers with a 3. 1 second. Valentine, no good.
Oh, that is exactly what you want as a coach. You show patience, you take your time. First set, didn't work. She took the shot with just the right amount of time to only to not let them have a great look on the other side. So very, very impressive. And again, we'll update some stats. Nick Fairley here helping us on the stats. So instead of going away from the broadcast here, we're actually going to stay here for a special halftime interview, which I know this interviewee very, very well. We have Michaela Curtis here. She plays for the team in Texas, which I coach, which is Salt and Light varsity girls. She's an All-American for the 3rd year running senior, 2024 graduate who will be playing next year NCAA D3 basketball at Wheaton College. She's very excited about that. So I have her here just to talk a little bit about nationals, about some of the things that we're doing to try to help younger kids, make people more aware of nationals. So first, let's just tell us about how long you've been doing nationals, why you like this tournament, and the experiences you've had here.
Okay, great. Hi, broadcast people. I've been playing homeschool basketball now for 10 years. This is my 9th nationals, and it's definitely my favorite thing I get to do all year. I love nationals for a lot of reasons. Number one, I would probably say, is the community. Just all these homeschool people together in one place. I get to see all my friends, a lot of great players I get to play against, I get to play with. It's a great time, so I enjoy it a lot.
Some of our friends running around here to take a picture of us. This is fun. I have never done a broadcast before. This has been a blast. Lots of people sending me notes. Thank you. I'm definitely a rookie. Didn't know how this was going to go, but it's been a lot of fun. Now let's talk about the idea that you came up with before nationals to put some content out to bring awareness to homeschool basketball. So kind of tell us the idea, what you've done, and then some of the things that have resulted from that.
Yeah, so basically I just had the idea. I was thinking about nationals, how fun it is. I was thinking about homeschool basketball, all the great talented players I know, the players I know are playing in college. And I was thinking we need some more exposure. We need to be talked about more. We need to talk about ourselves more. We need some media going on. So I put out a tweet on Twitter. I said, if you're a high-level prospect, you're a homeschool player, or you're a homeschool player who's already committed to playing college, reach out. I want to put some content together. And I ended up with a content team of about 5 really skilled players. Maddie Herda, who's committed to ETBU, Kendall Beck, who's committed to HCU, Tyvon Taylor, who plays for the CHSA Wolverines, Ben Groth from the Tennessee Heat, Joey Heaston, who's committed to Taylor. And we just started putting together videos. I'd send out a prompt in the morning, and I'd say, I need everybody to record a 15-second video of you saying XYZ, send me a 20-second highlight. And I did the editing, and I posted it on Instagram and on Twitter.
And I will say, I was sharing with Paul earlier, one of the things that has been really fun about that for me is we know players in our region. I've talked to Coach Herda from San Marcos many times before and after games. Over the summer, we saw each other at camps. We prayed for each other, for our daughters to find the right places. But this has allowed you to get to know Maddie a little bit off the court. She has such a great personality. Her and her dad have been making the videos together, which has been fun, and with Kendall. And then some people outside of our region I never met. Joey Heaston and Ben Groth, man, they are some dynamic players. I ended up broadcasting one of the ridiculous games the Lions had where they had a 17-point comeback. So that has increased and expanded the community. And so those are players who are currently committed or currently like upperclassmen. Some of them already have offers. They've already got their information kind of out there. Talk a little bit about on the recruiting side what you helped with here to try to make the platform better for younger kids, because there are kids who can play at the homeschool level.
Yeah, so this was our first year, I believe, having the recruiting session, meet and greet with committed players. So I did that once with Joey Heaston and then another time with Lily Williams. And we got people together. We talked about the recruiting process. We talked about the opportunities that are out there for homeschool players. And it was really cool to get to meet parents. Parents came, brought their kids to talk to me, took notes while I was talking. It was kind of a surreal experience, but I'm just very blessed to have been able to share the information that I have and the experiences that I've had. And so that was really fun to do, and I hope they continue that, because I'd love to come back and be a part of it next year and in years to come.
Yes, absolutely. It was a blast talking to parents. And if you have not, if you are a homeschool parent or a non-homeschool parent who's interested in homeschool basketball, follow all of the NCHBC social media accounts, the Next Level account. Give us, to close out here, your tagline you've been doing for the great videos. Check out the NCHBC Twitter, her Twitter, Michaela 2024, to go see those videos. Tell us your tagline.
Yeah, so I end every video with the same thing. Homeschool athletes are college athletes.
Excellent. Thank you,
very
Michaela.
much.
Well, thank you so much, and gotta love that. I had 2 daughters. We did not even know this world existed 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and ended up that my daughters who played basketball, we ended up homeschooling. Found out about it, and where our eyes were just open to a whole new world, and just what a fantastic experience. I've been here ever since. They can't get rid of me. So
absolutely
great job. So in this game, the girls 18U Undisputed national championship. HEA jumped out to a big lead, 15-3, but then it's been 8 straight points by West Michigan to pull it back to 4. A big one was that three-pointer right before the half by Aubrey Ayers, deep. They've had trouble getting inside, and Williams has been just doing what we thought she'd do. 5 blocks, 5 rebounds. Here she comes down the lane and muscles that one in. That's her 4th point, but she has affected the game so much on both ends. Big thing to watch. This West Michigan team is known for the way they play team ball, a lot of backdoor cuts, a lot of skip passes. They've only had 1 assist this game. And that tells you a lot about the kind of defense, not just Lily's playing, but all of the Firebirds really disruptive to their offensive flow.
Great ball fake, shot fake there.
Cochran up to Rodimer.
They're moving with more pace in the half court, and I think the couple defensive stops energized them there.
That's Cochran's shot. Oh, it was halfway down.
Yeah.
Guess who got the rebound? That is the fifth rebound for Valentine.
Not for nothing, but Valentine has 5 and Lily Williams has 5 rebounds.
Wow.
We say it all the time. It's not just height, but there's a turnover. Cross-court pass. Ayers hit one before the half. Here's another. She got it. That was huge.
And that was a good effort on the closeout, but a little bit of a miscommunication, defensive mistake there.
She leads West Michigan 2 threes, 6 points now. And there's a tip away. Tried to get the ball to Williams, but I think they're going to call the foul on the Hornets.
But you look at the effort there. They're faster to every ball right now than the Firebirds are.
Ashley Ayers, that's her first foul of the half. 17-14.
We've got ourselves a game here, Paul.
Valentine going to bring it up. Set things up for her Firebirds. Williams operating around the free throw line.
Oh, I think she traveled.
She had a good fake there, but shuffled her feet. That's a turnover.
She did, yeah. A little bit indecisive. You could tell she wasn't sure where she wanted to go. She made that decision late.
And you can tell her defender kind of backed off.
Yeah.
I think they're doing the scouting report that she's not taking a lot of those free throw line jumpers. She's looking to drive.
I mean, all 30 points last night were pretty much on the block.
Right.
Both blocks, but on the block.
The shot chart would have been one big circle underneath the
yes,
basket.
One big filled-in circle because she didn't miss many.
Not an area she operates a lot. Rodimer, her team down 3. They were down 12, but they have cut it. Oh, Cochran wanted to shoot that one. That's one of her spots. Stetchy's going to drive, try to flip it up, but Williams, another block.
And the crowd behind me is really energized around the Hornets. They had a few defensive stops. They hit a few long threes, so they're getting the crowd in here.
On the inbounds, that's Hannah Williams cutting off Leskowski. Leskowski, one of the many guards West Michigan throws at you. A lot of experience. But so far they've been trailing this entire game. Here's Cochran, 3. Too long off the back iron. That would have tied it up. 5:31 to go.
You expect those to start falling for her at some point. She's an All-American, very skilled player. Everyone on this Hornets team is very skilled, and I feel like the guards in particular are very skilled for the Firebirds.
That time Williams she had position, but the player behind her wouldn't allow her to jump up for that one. And it ends up being a turnover. Laskowski, too strong. That's one of the only times they've had an open look, and she could not hit the layup.
That pass was not on time on target down there to Lily Williams, and that was something I noticed yesterday. The guards were always on time on target, it seemed like, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Here's Gabby Dimoff. That's a big
drives with the physical finish.
Yeah, gets the foul. She'll get a 3-point play opportunity. And just when the Hornets had cut it to 3, that's a huge bucket by Gabby Dimoff.
And they needed a bucket. The momentum since the last minute or so of the first half, the momentum has been all Hornets. And we said they wouldn't go away, and they definitely are not.
Missed that one. Rebound to Ayers. Yeah, and we've talked so much about Lily, but I told someone this earlier. Oh, good entry pass.
They look like themselves now. They're just moving the ball quickly.
Rodimer 3, online, but just off. Rebound comes to the Firebirds. But I've been probably as impressed, already knowing Lily was an amazing player. The backcourt, like you said, Paul, I think that Lincoln and Valentine just are so solid. And when you pair them with what Lily can do down low and in the paint. It's really tough to beat, and that's why they're here back-to-back years in the championship game.
Not only that, but all of them come back next year.
Oh, wow.
Valentine's 8th grade, Lincoln's a junior, and Lily's a sophomore.
Dimmoff again. She's got a good touch. Little deceptive. She'll drive, and you think it's not a great shot, and she'll just flip it up and in.
I'm going to put in a notice here. I like this. I'd love to be back for that one next year.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're impressive.
Ball is in. Here's Lincoln. There's Williams. What do you do to stop that?
I mean, you can just tell that that's just something that she is completely comfortable.
Again, I mentioned a lot of skill here.
Yep.
There are a lot of kids who can hit a catch and shoot shot, but they can take one dribble, pull up. You know, watching the details that Valentine plays with out of triple threat, you know, she takes her time, she sweeps over, she throws you off with her eyes, you know, before her passes. Just she moves the defense with her eyes is what I'm trying to say there.
We got it. We got what you're saying. Here's the inbounds. Williams turns around and just drops it in. She's so strong. If you get that ball in the block like that, there's really not much you can do unless you're going to foul.
No, and this is a dangerous place too because Lily is starting to get comfortable like she did last night. And, you know, she's getting a couple of back to the basket post touches like she did last night. And, I mean, like you mentioned, what do you do against that?
Right.
So far it hadn't been a factor. And now all of a sudden it looks like they're working that.
What you have to do. It may mean that you give up a few fouls, but that may be a strategy there in the fourth.
Laskowski lined it up, but it falls short again.
And who else to go in there, get that rebound, and fight for the tie-up than Valentine? I think I did the first Firebirds game with Nick Fairley. We are official members of the Valentine fan club here.
There you go.
She is so impressive.
Perhaps founding members. Well, actually, I don't know. Her parents are probably founding members. But
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Coach Williams also probably a founding member.
I bet.
I have a season pass, though.
Okay.
Like I'm expecting to see her for 4 more years after this.
The key is, do you get a Valentine card? Hornets trying to cut into the 7-point lead. And we got steps. Sometimes that patience turns into frustration when you cannot find what you're looking for, especially a team that's used to running like a factory. And right now the Hornets have gone back to that struggle. It is real. And the Firebirds, with that defense, so tough, holding on to that 7-point lead. Third quarter, 2:27 to go here. The winner will be the first time ever in their program's history. 18U undisputed champs. Lincoln down the lane and in.
We've seen her do that a lot this week. Take her time, change directions there, get a look at the rim.
And Lincoln did such a great job there of recognizing the way they were playing Williams. I mean, she just kind of slowly, methodically made her way through the paint. And if anyone had challenged her, she had Williams ready, and she just took it all the way.
And, you know, that is something that young players or sometimes players who score a lot of points, they just want to go as fast as possible all the time, and they don't realize that at the varsity level with help side defense, you have to be able to play with pace, change direction, retreat dribble, you know, make defenses move and do different things.
Ayers for 3. She got stuck on that play before that down low and got bailed out with a shot, but then that time trying to save the ball inbounds. Firebirds' foot was on the line. It will stay down with the Hornets.
And it's a small thing, but Lily absolutely altered that shot trajectory.
Yes, yes.
I mean, she just put her arms up and swatted down, and that was an air ball.
I don't know if it's a small thing.
Well,
yeah.
And you talked about, that's a good point you talked about with Coach Juwan Player, that if you know the importance of small things, you recognize nothing's a small thing.
Absolutely.
So those kind of plays make a difference when you look at the final score sheet.
Yeah. Michaela actually wrote that on her sneakers this year. No small things, no little things.
By the way, great having her join us for the halftime as well.
Yes, that was fun.
Oh, good find by
Oh,
Laskowski, and there's Vanderway to put it in. They finally get something low. They got Williams kind of trying to sneak over, and she still almost blocked it. But Vanderway puts it in to stop the bleeding. Down 7 still.
By drawing Lily and having those interior passes is a good thing that the Hornets can go to try to get some easier looks.
Some good ball movement.
Yeah, you saw the quick double team there on Williams.
Whoa.
Oh, my.
Oh no.
That time, Rodimer trying to box out. Williams was up in the air, and it was an awkward fall for both, but looks like Rodimer is going to stay down for a little bit. Lily was a little worried about her because it was like her legs got taken out from under, but she's able to fall without getting into too much trouble. And,
well, our teammates backed up because they were waiting for the trainer.
Yeah.
Then she turned over and was looking for somebody to help her.
Valentine. Valentine runs out, the team she's playing. That was great.
And classy move here from Lily to go check on her as well.
Yes. And that was definitely nothing intentional about that. It's just that Rodimer is giving up, I don't know what, a foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an awkward landing.
Yeah.
It was.
And Lily kind of came over on her neck there, But I'm so glad to see her get up. You know, you're talking about Valentine's sportsmanship. So I want to share a 12U story that's amazing. So I have film of Michaela shooting a free throw when we were playing with a different team, and we were playing against Salt and Light, some people we would end up being teammates with later, and her future teammates that are on the other team are all coming and giving her a high five after she makes the free throw, the opposing team.
Nice.
There's a lot of sportsmanship, but a lot of competitiveness, and you're not going to get that at the varsity level, high fives after the free throw, but after the game, I'll give you a high five.
Yeah, and it's not that stuff doesn't happen in public school or private school settings, but boy, just the atmosphere here at home school just been so fantastic this week. We saw some amazing things happen like we do every year. Here's Cochran for a three. That one's off the front of the rim.
HEA's done such a great job boxing out as well. They've had a couple of plays now where the balls hit the floor before someone picked it up, and those are the kind of drills you run in practice, to where you try to get a shell box out and let the ball hit the floor. And they've had a couple of those now. That time Lincoln did a great job corralling the rebound.
A lot of times when teams take long threes, it's hard to rebound, but the Firebirds have done a good job with that. The rebounding now is 20-10 in favor of the Firebirds. Turnovers still 13-5, not in favor of the Firebirds.
That's kept them in the game.
Absolutely.
20 seconds to go. And Firebirds going to hold it for one more shot. They lead it by 8 in this third quarter.
We have our impressive point guard holding for the last shot here for the Firebirds, looks like.
Lincoln.
Or maybe not.
Going to drive. A dive by Molly Hunt, no good. Williams cleans up the board and puts it in. That's big. She's had 9 this quarter. Yeah. And that's the way things will end.
She went down kind of hard there.
Yeah. Playing hard, and boy, the Firebirds are making life hard on the West Michigan Hornets. It's a 28-18 lead they carry into the fourth quarter. Last year, they made it to the championship. This year, can they finish the job? We'll find out these last 8 minutes after this break.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula, real-time pain relief. It's soothing lotion, it's rich in nature's ingredients, and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis. Real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me, and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout.
Scott, Amy, and Paul here, and we are watching the HEA Firebirds try to lay claim to their first ever championship. They made it last year, were knocked out by San Marcos, and this year that was their goal from day one, to make it back to this point, but to finish business. Well, they have a 10-point lead and 8 minutes to complete that business and close the deal. They've got the ball in able hands, and we'll have to see if West Michigan, the spunky team out of West Michigan, can come back, but that time Gabby Dimoff makes life even more difficult for that comeback. She drains the three, 31-18. Other way.
Tries to answer.
Yep, no good. Battle for the rebound, and possession will keep it down at this end. Boy, you start throwing in three-pointers, that's their third of the game, and then you've got Lily down there just dominating with 11 points and tons of boards and blocks.
Eight rebounds, actually, for Lily.
Wow.
2 assists and 7 blocks. Lila Valentine, I said I'm official member of the fan club. 6 rebounds for the small.
You got to love that from your
small
your guard.
but mighty point guard.
Rodimer, challenged by Williams, definitely altered that shot. She won't get a statistic there, but it definitely affected the shot that was put up. Here comes Valentine with the Firebirds. She fires a cross-court pass to Hannah Williams. She was going to feed it inside. It looked like to Lily, but that ball was knocked out by Ayers. Ashley Ayers that time. Here's Lily, had air sealed, puts it up with the left hand, gets her own board, and draws the foul.
Just too deep. Can't let her get it that deep. And I shouldn't say let her. They were battling really hard. Really, really hard. You know, Valentine, we talked a lot about her offense. We talked about the guards in general on defense for the Firebirds. But I just want to say for younger players listening, what keeps a lot of younger players off the court is their inability to defend, or whether that's one-on-one or help defense, and their inability to make good decisions on offense. That is why she can lead this team, because she can do all of those things that I absolutely can't call little things. They are what prevent younger players from getting on the court on a varsity team.
Hornets with an uphill battle, trailing by 14. Cochran tries to make that easier, but her three is just not there tonight. 0 points by their All-American. She last night lit it up with 11 points in the semis, mainly from outside.
Yeah, I didn't like that decision for Lincoln.
Yep.
You're up. You're starting to pull away here. I always say the other team can't score when we have the ball, so there was no reason to do that. You're getting whatever you want if you take a little time there. So.
Lincoln's third foul. We'll see if that becomes an issue. 6:45 to go. West Michigan with the ball, needing points.
See if they have a run in them.
Ayers hit one from there earlier at the end of the first half that really kept them in the game. Laskowski.
Great denial there by Valentine.
Yeah. Hannah Williams that time, cutting off the drive. Here comes Ayers, gonna kick it back to Laskowski. You can tell now, boy, they're thinking twice when they get in that paint.
Absolutely.
And with that, what, 8 blocks you said?
I think it's seven
blocks. Yeah, no wonder. There she goes again. Rodimer got it over everybody, but missed the bucket. Lincoln this time going to probably slow it down, looks like.
Seems like she maybe tweaked something there. She's limping a little bit down the court.
Yeah, the Hornets, boy, they're giving everything they got. They're playing out there. They're limping. They're doing whatever they can. But, boy, they've run into a Firebirds team that is just tough to stop. Laskowski gets the steal. Pitches it up ahead. Ayers in the corner. They need this three. Got it.
And I was just thinking it's about time that they get one to go down. Timeout here.
Well, that cut it down to 11, 32-21. Do they have enough points in them to be able to do this? We're going to have to see. But, guys, as we look at this, it's been a kind of a week where we knew the HEA Firebirds thought, most people thought they were on a collision course again, but most of us thought it probably is going to be a rematch with San Marcos. Sometimes, you talked about earlier, a team expects something, and when it changes and it's not what you think, they lose some intensity, they lose maybe some of their focus, but it does seem like this Firebirds team, their focus wasn't San Marcos. It was a championship.
Absolutely.
And they're really just showing that they've stuck to, no matter who their opponent was, this is how we're going to play, and if you can't stop us, we're going to win.
And it may seem kind of silly, but mentally teams are looking for any kind of edge. So I think once they realize that it wasn't San Marcos, like you said, it could be that situation where they realize, okay, well, we're not getting the team we wanted, but this team beat us twice. And now we have a chance to claim the season series and the national championship. So you get that edge right back.
And where the Hornets seemed like starting the game, unintimidated, they drove towards Lily, and even with the shot blocks, they kept going. You got to wonder if right now it looks like they're starting to maybe have a little bit of doubt. Starting to see the clock, starting to realize how dominating Lily is right now, and are they going to have enough left in them to be able to make this comeback?
Well, they had that last possession where they had, I think it's Laskowski who got the steal, and then they saw a three go down. So they have a little momentum. Let's see if they can get another stop here.
Yep. You got to put those together. Stops, turn them into points. Hunt. Working her way around the perimeter. Williams way out right now. Fake by Dobie Cochran.
Again, this team very disciplined, very skilled. They use pass fakes, ball fakes, backdoor cuts.
Oh, wow, that time Cochran went in and lost the ball, but it hit Lily Williams and went out of bounds, so it will stay with the Hornets.
You know, I don't know that we've mentioned the atmosphere here.
Yeah,
it's great. This is an incredible venue for a basketball game.
Off the legs of Ayers, knocked away. Lincoln picks it up, and here she comes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing that's great, too, is, you know, we had a packed house for the boys' game, but these are two teams from Michigan, which aren't teams with a ton of, and there's another turnover. a ton of fans necessarily they come because it's so far away, but they have picked up a lot of fans and kind of making this where it's a 50-50 crowd, which is a lot of fun and adds a whole lot of atmosphere to it, intensity. And the Hornets trying to make a little run here. If they're going to do it, it's got to be now. With 4:41 to go, they trail at 32-21.
I think that foul there is kind of just an issue of Lily's elbows or where everyone else's head is.
Hunt for 3, missed it. Valentine almost a steal there, but they'll have another chance here. Hunt working it to her left. Oh, and Ayers lost the ball. Williams picks it up. And another possession with no points for West Michigan. 4:14 to go, 32-21. Firebirds trying to claim the title for their program and also the first for the state of Michigan in quite some time. And on with us here are, man, you're just a historian of everything homeschool basketball, Rob. Rob Flatt. And Rob, this won't be the first time a Michigan school has won a girls' title.
That's correct. The 2003 Lansing Crusaders, coached by Chad Olena, who's now with the Greenville Hurricanes as the athletic director there, was part of that special group. Out of Lansing now, you have the Chap Chariots. So the Crusaders don't exist any longer. But that was 2003, which is the year after I graduated. So
that's crazy. And then the Chariots today, I mean, interesting story. Talk about Michigan girls basketball. They won the Division II title as Lily Williams on the inbounds powers it in and draws the foul.
A special player there, the way that Lily's playing this entire week, even last week. These special players, they draw attention. Like the dunk contest tryouts last year from Sunday on till now, over a year of just talking about Lily Williams and what she's been accomplishing. And
it's great to see because this is a big crowd anywhere in the country for a girls' high school basketball game. I mean, this is fantastic, and just what a great thing for girls' basketball. And, boy, the girls' basketball future, there's so many good young players and teams. And Michigan, man, you talk about bursting onto the scene. My goodness, 3 different teams today in undisputed championships with the 18U Division II, and now both of these teams. So the future's pretty bright.
Well, and that 16 and under West Michigan team played Chisholm today.
Yep.
And I watched that game on the broadcast, and I noticed that they didn't seem to use all their players the same way they would probably have if they had lost yesterday.
Right.
And so when you mention the future being bright, I think that just shows what Coach Cochran has got there with the West Michigan Hornets. Ryan Blackburn, the athletic director there, has just done a great job at handling the growth of homeschool athletics, and despite the growth, being able to still vet the families. They've got a 70-player wait list.
Yeah,
maybe even 100-player wait list.
I've heard such. Yeah, and just even other special moments. I don't know if you saw earlier, but when their boys team, they had a player that had leukemia. He was diagnosed this year. They told us he wouldn't play. Well, wouldn't you know, number 20 walks out on the court. The opposing team lets him go in there. He gets a bucket, chills. Chills. This whole place was on their feet and in tears, and just a great atmosphere. That 3 is long. 35-21. Rob, thanks for joining us and talking about this. And, it's just been – thanks for all you do with homeschool. I know you do so much behind the scenes, and sometimes when you're on top, you just hear the bad stuff. But let me tell you, as a dad, as a coach, as I've done just about everything I can do with girls basketball and homeschool, man, you've created something fantastic here, and thanks for everything that happens this week. It's just been an amazing time.
Well, it's great being here. I appreciate what you, Scott Staten, and Paul Gilmore have done, Jeremy Caldwell, the Sanders brothers, Amy Curtis, Jeff Cannon, Ty Cease, Cody Hirons, Joshua Jenkins. Just a great group of broadcasters. Nick Fairley. It's been awesome to be able to listen in because I'm the biggest fan. I love watching the broadcast. Every once in a while, I'll even get holed up in my Airbnb, and I'll just turn on both broadcasts and do some promoting of this. And so this is phenomenal. And what Coach Williams has done, Coach Krista Williams with the HEA Firebirds, the growth from last year to this year as a team, the way that they attack, their game planning, you just know that they're putting everything into this, and it's just special to watch.
Yeah, the conditioning, so much different. Wow, another 3 by Gabby Dimoff. And before that, Laskowski with a bucket down on the other end. But, yeah, it's been a great year. Oh, nice move, but she missed the layup. Ayers, both times they've had 2 easy shots inside. The only time Williams wasn't there, they missed. But it's been that kind of night. But, yeah, it's been a great week and, you know, great crew and the kids. We just got some classy kids.
You mentioned the classiness. That was something I just wanted to hint on. We saw that situation where the scary play where Lily landed on one of the players for West Michigan, and I thought it was absolutely amazing to see the HEA Firebird player run over there when she didn't. It was kind of comedic in the sense that she looked around. She didn't have anyone there, and the whole stadium kind of reacted to that. But then to see an HEA Firebird player,
that was cool.
These are rivals, but to see in a biggest game there for her to go there and help her up, I thought that captures the spirit of these two organizations.
Right,
and that's what makes Nationals so unique is when that's the spirit that is put on display in the championship game.
Final scores don't always determine champions. That's what we always say. So thanks a lot. That was great. And we're looking like we're going to see the first championship going home to Michigan for girls 18U as Ayers sinks the free throw in over 20 years. And it looks like right now, unless the Hornets are able to get a flurry of points here in these last 2.5 minutes, the Firebirds one step closer to doing what they could not pull off last year, and that is to complete their run in the Undisputed 18U and get the title. Valentine bringing it up. She got tripped up. No call there. Ball comes away to Ayers. Hornets still with life. Here's a 3 from Rodimer. She got it.
We're not going away.
Nope. 38-27 now. 2:10 to go.
Lily Williams with a double-double. And almost a triple-double here.
Wow.
Just shy on rebounds.
What a game.
Oh, we got a feisty crowd back in here.
We always have a feisty crowd. That's what we were teasing about. There's fans in the stands, and there's also a lot of coaches and a whole lot of officials, always.
I got a couple of All-Americans behind me back here having a really good time from the Raiders and Houston Raiders and CHSA Wolverines.
Lincoln misses the first free throw. 2:07 to go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sore throats tomorrow, I can assure you that.
Oh, yeah. She hits the second. Solid game for Lincoln, 8 points. Here's another deep three, Rodimer!
Goodness!
What else can she do?
Oh, wow! That was Steph Curry range out there.
Cut it to 9. Here's a steal. Cochran over to Laskowski. Rodimer for 3. Off the front of the rim, but Ayers gathers it in.
I don't know if the crowd would have recovered from that. I don't know if they would have recovered from that one.
And then a whistle. And Ayers will be at the free throw line now. They're both over the limit. Wow. Just when we said it looks like it might be going home with HEA, West Michigan said, not so fast, my friend.
And I really, really like that timeout by Coach Williams.
Yeah.
Because I think what that does is it's going to cause everybody to kind of calm down again.
Yep.
We're going to get to a point where it's a full timeout. It's really hard to be hyped up for a full minute plus. I mean, it's doable, but it's a timeout. So there's not a whole lot to be hyped for. You kind of calm things back down, come back out of it. You set up your plays, get the ball in the hands of Valentine and Lincoln. And they've shown that they're very capable of just being calm, cool, collected, and work the ball to Lily. And I think, under 2 minutes, 9 points certainly not insurmountable, especially if Rodimer is suddenly Caitlin Clark. But with that being said, I still think that HEA comes out of this looking to slow things down and take care of the ball. They haven't done a great job of it, but they're going to have to if they want to hang on.
They've left the door open. And, you mentioned it, the crowd. It's been so great that it just, you can't ask for more than this. This is a bigger crowd than, a lot of public school girls teams will play in front of. And it's rowdy. They're into it. And this has got to be feeding the Hornets and the Firebirds. And, this is probably a space last year where the Firebirds would not have pulled through. And they've grown in so many ways. And they're about to show us mentally, are they going to be able to bring this one home? First shot is good.
You mentioned not taking care of the ball. That turnover differential is still huge. 17 for the Firebirds and only 6 for the Hornets.
Yep.
So you'd like to think both teams are in the bonus. If it comes down to needing to foul or rush them up, make them go fast, the Hornets have a little bit of advantage in that area to maybe get a turnover without having to foul.
There's another steal. Rodimer Oh, she stepped back at first and then threw it over the middle, and they're going to say it was out of bounds. So Lily Williams, my goodness.
Nick Fairley over here can't even do the stats. He's jumping up and down with the crowd behind me. He's, man, Rodimer, I'm impressed.
Aubrey Ayers with 14 points.
And then we get a foul before the inbound.
Oh, my goodness.
So points, like the worst possible thing you can do if you're the Firebirds is foul them before they put the ball in play, and they get to go to the line again. They're excellent. They've got an All-American at the line.
Cochran, she has not scored tonight, and they're still in this thing. She gets one more. Bigger news, too. That's Emma Lingon's 4th foul, so she's going to have to be careful. 1:35 to go. They're trying to finish this off. Can they do it? Cochran sinks the second.
I wasn't going to say anything after I jinxed the first one. Like, next time, elbow me, Paul.
We got a 6-point game. I mean, it was over. And here come the Hornets.
Such a huge benefit to be able to just toss that ball up to Lily on the inbounds.
And then Valentine. She can get it back to Valentine, who patiently finds Lincoln there.
They've got to run some clock. Take care of the ball, run some clock. Still a 2-possession game.
Oh.
Nice pass.
Nice kick out.
I don't know if I take that 3-pointer
I absolutely don't take that 3. That's only a good shot if you make it. And you pass up good shots for great ones. Maybe use like 30 seconds. Block number 8. 9.
Goodness.
She is 1 block away from a triple-double.
That was bringing back the Anthony Davis block back against North Carolina 11 years ago. She came flying out of the lane and blocked the 3-point shot. What a block.
You couldn't make one game without a Kentucky reference.
I had to, but we lost tonight. Oh, well. Here's a 3 that's no good. Ayers comes up with it. She has been on the spot all night. She dribbles in, shoots it, gets her own rebound.
Rebound, goes to the floor. First to the floor, timeout for.
Heads up play.
Oh, my goodness.
What a game. Ayers has been everywhere. And we got less than a minute, but we got a game.
I'm almost rooting for overtime here.
Oh, I would take it.
We've seen this situation earlier in the week where teams did not have any foul trouble, and they got to the end of the 4th quarter, and they had 1 or 0 team fouls, and they had to quickly try to either grab a bunch. But in this situation, not necessarily that it's the benefit, but West Michigan's already at 5. So if they get to a point where they don't have possession, they can still send someone to the line without a lot of time off the clock.
Well, and here's something, too, to think about. When you look down at the list, HEA really has not been tested in this tournament. This is their first close game. And West Michigan's coming off of last night's nail-biter where they pulled off that upset of San Marcos. Are they going to have a little bit of an edge there because they're used to this? The pressure is not new to them. Let's see how they respond. A 6-point lead for the Firebirds. But the Hornets storming back. Here's the inbounds. Ayers. Ball knocked away in the dive.
Hustle.
And that's going to be a jump ball and go to the Firebirds.
Wow, great hustle from Demoff.
Yeah,
she dove immediately.
She did.
Coming off the bench and giving them 10 points. And there with a great job diving on the floor to tie up that ball. 46 seconds to go.
Those are big points. In the other games, I'm not sure she scored. For sure, I don't remember her hitting 3s.
39-33. Firebirds going to kill the clock if they can do it.
Figure out how soon they want to foul, and it's going to be Rodimer.
Yep.
And sending Valentine to the line.
Rodimer's 4th.
If you watched the first few minutes of the game, you wouldn't have understood that these teams played 3 games that were decided by a total of less than 4 points.
Yeah, it seemed like almost a mismatch, but suddenly the Hornets were able to figure out that defense. Valentine. Okay.
Ice in her veins.
Yeah, we keep saying this, but 8th grader, really? You got an 8th grade point guard under this kind of pressure, and she just calmly sinks the free throw? Sinks 2 free throws.
I'm not sure the crowd count here, but we're at Drury University with a full house here.
Whoa! Rodimer!
Again!
What in the world? She banked it in. I mean, Caitlin Clark, Steph Curry, And Jaden Rodimer in this fourth quarter, 3 straight threes. And I think if you combine the distance, you'd be getting halfway back to Michigan.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Probably a good reference here would be Sabrina Ionescu, who just had that big shootout with Steph Curry at the All-Star game. And then we've got the shooting on the Hornets side, and then for the Firebirds, we've got Lily with almost a triple-double. At least I think Alyssa Thomas leads in the WNBA with most triple-doubles. That's an incredible stat.
Isn't that crazy?
The high school level, yes.
And to me, I think that what that highlights is even more how critical those free throws were from Valentine.
Absolutely.
Right? Whenever she hit it, it pushed it to an 8-point lead, and you think, okay, 30 seconds left, 8-point lead, feeling pretty good. But with what Rodimer's doing, you absolutely have to hit those free throws.
Yeah, you got to.
They'd be within 3 without them. They'd be within 3.
Yep, you got to seal it. I happened to be lucky enough because it was in Indianapolis. I was there for Sabrina Steph, and I can tell you this atmosphere is much louder. It's crazy how much crazier it is here. Really, really loud.
To knock down those free throws, I can't believe it.
Oh, Williams.
That into Lily.
Great hands. Able to pull that in, and then Valentine fouled from behind by Laskowski.
And I love the confidence from Valentine. She had an open player up ahead, and she said, you know what, I want the ball in my hands. I'm going to knock these down.
Yeah, I want to go to the line, absolutely. And it's worth noting, I'm not sure, we don't have the benefit of professional stats on the season, what the other shooters here are percentage-wise from the line.
Missed that one.
But Lily Williams was 7 for 8 last night. I don't want to foul her. I don't really think I want to foul Valentine. Oh,
misses them both.
There it is.
Door is still open.
I'm sorry.
Here comes Rodimer. 20 seconds left.
And
her team
Lily's
trailing by 5.
Rodimer.
A 3! Oh my goodness!
Another one! It's another one!
Ashley Ayers!
It's a 2-point game.
What happened?
Wow.
5 3-pointers in the last 3 minutes.
That's all you can say is wow. I mean, you expect some crazy things to happen in a national championship game. But we were 2 or 3 minutes away from starting to give our regards.
Yeah.
And starting to say our goodbyes.
Absolutely.
We brought Rob.
Well, we were going to bring Rob on regardless because they're both from Michigan.
to talk about Michigan.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but you got that situation where it's a 10-point game, a minute left. You start saying your thanks. Thank you to Rob Platt, thank you to Zach, and West Michigan saying no, thank you. We're still in this game.
Yes, sir. I think they heard us say something about, well, if they're going to come back, they got to do it now. And they said, okay, here you go.
I don't know if I said it. Yeah. I thought it at like 11 or 13 points. Man, they've really got to get some threes.
Right. Man, have they ever done that?
And high degree of difficulty. Everyone.
Yeah.
Like this is a college line, and they're way behind the college line. This is crazy.
And they were missing really good look open threes early in the game. These things are contested. They're way behind the line. And here we go. It's a 2-point game, 15 seconds. The ball comes into Valentine, and he thought about it.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't.
I think that's the right call, and I think that's the 5th foul on Rodimer.
Oh, no. But I sure wish she had made a play on the ball. I think she couldn't stop her momentum there because Valentine didn't catch that clean.
Yeah.
Tennessee Heat did that great in their game against the PT Warriors.
Yeah. That's.
Yep, she fouled out.
Appealing for the foul to be on someone else, but.
Yeah, and I think, what's crazy? She knew that, but she was just, the first thing she did when she jumped up was asking the ref to make sure too much time didn't come off the clock. Wow. Worried about her team.
Wow.
Valentine, ice in her veins, missed the last 2, got the ball again in her hands, knocks down the first one.
I don't think she knows she fouled out yet. Yep, there she knows now. Boy, what a gutsy effort by Rodimer.
And she gets a hug from Coach Williams.
Well, how can you not respect that? And again,
HEA players coming to congratulate her.
This is homeschool basketball, people. There's nothing like it.
This is the best of what we do. This is who we are.
Yep.
With a full crowd here, man, what a show these teams are putting on.
It'll have to be the team. And Valentine sinks 2 crucial free throws.
And that is not ever going to get the same kind of reaction as those 3-pointers are, but it is every bit as important as those last shots that West Michigan's knocked down.
And I'm thinking, when I was in 8th grade, I don't think I had the courage to ask a girl to sit by me, and she's standing up on the free throw line with the championship on the line and just drops them in.
Yeah, I certainly was not playing in front of thousands of people at Drury University with ice in my veins.
I think the rest of homeschool is going to be like, if we created a monster, we got to face her for 4 more years. Are you kidding me? We got to face Lily for 2 more years.
4 more
Crazy.
years. 4 more years.
Just looking at Jawan Player down here at the end of the table, I told him before the game, you're not going to believe this girl. And he was like, the 8th grader? So you're not going to believe it.
Yep. And here she is on the biggest stage. She's got the last 4 points for HEA, all free throws.
Into the game, Kate Martis, the senior. And boy, the Firebirds showing some real stamina. We said they've shown so much growth, but now they show the mental growth to hold on here. And when the chips started going against them and the crowd was loud, they build that lead back up to 4. 13 seconds to go, not over yet.
I'm guarding everybody everywhere.
Yeah,
West Michigan.
I like that HEA is not allowing them to just roll the ball up the floor.
Ayers thought about it. She did. She wanted to stop, and she didn't quite make it, and gets called for the turnover. 7.4 seconds.
Into Valentine, and she just football cradles it. She was not going to let a turnover happen.
She wants to shoot the free throws.
Yeah, you could easily have thrown that ball up to Lily Williams. You know, the superstar, let her handle it. They are allowing Valentine to finish this game.
You have to deny her the ball, like anybody but her.
I love it. Just now, back on the opposite top of the key, as she sinks the first again. Wow, she is money. Denied. Lily Williams held her hands up almost in prayer, like we're so close, and Lincoln just came up and gave her a big hug, and you can start to see a little bit of a smile on their face. They don't want to admit it yet, but that might have done it. Ayers in for West Michigan. Clock winding down. Hunt throws up a crazy 3, no good, and 0.9 seconds left, and now they know it. Lily Williams starts to jump up and down.
They've got one more inbounds, and they're going to be national champions.
You hate to see anyone lose this game. Credit to the Hornets.
Game. Well, they've been saying all week, the opponents, what's a Firebird? The answer, an undisputed national champion. That's what they are. 45-39, their first undisputed girls 18U title, and what could be multiple. Amazing night and an amazing environment. What a great job. We want to thank all of the fans who are here, those that have joined us online, Amy, Paul, Jeremy. We've just had an incredible crew this week, and it's been a great week of basketball, but not because of us, but these kids. What an amazing week. The coaches, the players, the fans, and just what a great honor it is, an opportunity to be able to share that with you guys. And congratulations, both teams with very bright futures. And thanks for joining us. So as they claim their undisputed trophy and they will put their name on it, they are in the history books, the second team ever from Michigan to win the undisputed. Well, thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for us here. We've got, if you're in Springfield, welcome to come over and watch the All-American games and everything else that's going on afterwards. But an amazing, amazing week. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you again next year.